Thank you. Please be seated. The chairman and the board of directors of KTDA and the management of the Tea Board of Kenya, PS Agriculture, and all our officers from the Ministry of Agriculture, and all stakeholders in the tea subsector, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to preside over the flagging of ceremony of the second consignment of fertilizer to the smallholder tea grower this year under the Kenya Kwanza Government Fertilizer Subsidy Program as promised by His Excellency President William Ruto. The flagging of this second consignment of fertilizer to tea growers across the nation will ease the burden of farmers in a great way. The 3.7 billion Kenya shillings subsidy for the fertilizer announced by President Ruto saw the cost of 50 kg bag drop from 6,500 to 3,500 for our farmers. This is a promise we made and we have kept. As the Kenya Kwanza government, we remain committed to the agricultural reforms for increased productivity of all the sectors. The role played by the tea subsector in Kenya cannot be gainsaid. It is one of the key drivers of Kenya's socio-economic development and a pillar of economic growth. It provides a source of livelihood directly to over 750,000 farmers, 90% of whom are smallholder tea growers. It also supports 7 million Kenyans indirectly, representing about 13% of the country's population. It contributes about 2% of the GDP and 4% of the agricultural GDP. It earns the country about Kenya shillings 120 billion in exports, which translates to approximately 26% of foreign exchange earnings. It is key in the infrastructural development of 19 tea growing counties. Globally, Kenya is the third leading producer of tea and the biggest exporter, accounting for 28% of the world tea exports. In the year 2021, the tea sector earned the country 136 billion Kenya shillings in foreign exchange. This year, we project the export earnings from the sector to start at 150 billion Kenya shillings. Despite its performance, the government is well aware that the tea industry has been experiencing various challenges which threaten its stability and sustainability. I challenge the leadership of the tea sector to come up with innovative and practical ways to solve these challenges to ensure the small farmer benefits out of their hard work. I'm aware of the smallholder tea factories made a decision to fix a minimum reserve price to cushion farmers against the fluctuation of tea prices from an all-time low of $1.89 per kg. To date, this decision has resulted in improved prices to an average of $2.64 per kg in October 2022. Several key reforms have been introduced by the Tea Act 2020 aimed at improving returns to the tea farmer by reducing the various costs borne by the tea growers, cushioning the tea growers against price fluctuations, and enhancing governance and operational efficiency along tea value chain. To cushion tea farmers from an upsurge in fertilizer prices occasioned by the global economic factors, leading to the decline in returns for the tea farmer, the government has provided 4.4 billion Kenya shillings as fertilizer subsidy to tea farmers in all the 54 small tea factories this financial year. We'll work together to ensure these challenges are addressed. I'm aware that KTDA has enhanced initial green leaf monthly payments to smallholder tea grower of Kenya shillings 17 from 17 Kenya shillings to between 20 and 21 per kilogram, depending on the region. Monthly payments to tea farmers are also being remitted on a timely basis by the first week, that is the 5th of every month, as opposed to the third week, and I commend you. In this regard, tea farmers will be able to pay for the fertilizer with ease. However, I'm aware that the full implementation of the tea reforms has been hampered by ex parte court orders suspending the implementation of several provisions of the Tea Act. I'm also aware that though tea growers from 54 tea factories have elected new directors through the democratic system on one grower, one vote, using their respective factory company memorandum and articles of association, this has also been contested by the previous office bearers. Finally, in order to sustain improved returns to the tea farmers, it is important for us to sustain the momentum in implementing the tea reform agenda. Thank you so much, and God bless you.